Hello, hello. Oh my goodness. Okay. I am hoping you are well and that you are warm and safe and all the things. How are you? I am ready to start. Not really, I'm not really ready. Let's see. Which deck? Okay. And another deck. Animals. We're going to use the alchemy deck today in a different way. I haven't done this way before, but I am being guided to. Okay, and oh, okay, I know why. We got separation and Neptune. So I know that like one of the major transits for people when we go through life, we like at the age of like early 40s, we go through like a Neptune square Neptune. I think it's Neptune square Neptune, yeah. And maybe Neptune square Pluto, but I think it's Neptune square Neptune. There, of course, the square aspects in astrology are difficult. That means that there's like a what's it called? Some sort of lesson that we have to learn about. Usually with Neptune, it has to do with escapism and spirituality and like deeper beliefs, which is something that I went through when I was 42, and I think it is normally 42, 43, something like that. That we go through that cycle or that transit, and so it can be like where we're heavily the illusions that come up. There's escapism. Now there's all the Neptune Pisces aspects or whatever. I can't figure out the word, but like also with it being Neptune, the planet, it's also ruled by Jupiter, I believe. Pisces is also ruled by Jupiter in some way. So there's an expansion that's needed. So it's meant to, I think, expand us in a way, like expand our insights to like spirituality, to ourselves, that introspection, the 12 house things. But I'm seeing this as like there was a separation to maybe for someone during this transit, maybe. And I'm just picking up like that intuitively, but let's see what else comes out. Because there's a 9-9 here and a 231, which is 6. lion and the unicorn. So, okay. Let's see. And alchemy. to 31. So, okay. Neptune, divinity, mysticism, seeking. Okay. Neptune is the mystic's planet. It's transcendent, sorry. My mouth wouldn't work. Transcendent energy projects toward the heavens. When Neptune card appears, the seeker archetype is activated and doorways to new dimensions open. A voice whispers from beyond the earthly plane, perhaps calling you to a pilgrimage or a new spiritual practice, or you may experience a meditative bliss beyond your wildest dreams. Divinity has arrived, whether you call it nirvana, samadhi, enlightenment, or just a good or just good old serenity. Amidst your spiritual awakening, remember that ultimately the work is not about you. The work is about what's bigger than you. Stay grounded in that reality, and you're likely to avoid Neptune's pitfalls of narcissism and escapism. History shows us examples of spirituality turned madness, so keep your woo-woo tendencies in balance with a little selfless service. To ponder forgiveness as medicine. Yeah. And separation, differentiation, divide, to cut away. Separation is a great alchemical operation of the sword. And also, the truth is also. It occurs when substances are pulled apart for their higher good. Either willingly or unwillingly, the fissure may take place suddenly with a swift blow of the axe, or slowly over time with a dull blade. No matter how separation occurs, it will likely be a painful process for all involved. Images of swords and knives, battles, rebellion, breakups, divorce, and atoms splitting are expressions of separation. The good news is that separation prepares the individual for a more conscious union down the line. It releases stagnant energy and allows the parts to see themselves as individuals. This stage is a prerequisite for conjunction, union, love. Through the pain of separation, we come to accept and love ourselves as we truly are, and in turn, we love the world. To ponder, is there anything that does not separate? And then the lion, patient, regal, a complete master. The lion is a master of the fire element and the living mascot of self-transformation. A lion personality dedicates their life to a personal and spiritual growth. This dedication inspires some and intimidates others. Therefore, the lion is respected by all but known intimately by few. Some mistake the lion as hard to access or aloof, yet those with a keener eye know better. Lions are observant, stealth, and precise in their words and actions. They do not waste energy or resources. This card reminds us that self-mastery is available to all, no matter where our quest begins. When in balance, the epitome of peace and strength. When out of balance, withdrawn too serious. To bring into balance daily meditation and friendship. And the unicorn is about the third eye chakra, which is the sixth chakra. And so, yeah, okay. So I'm getting that this, there may have been a transit that you went through with Neptune, or maybe are going through or about to, or there's some sort of separation that happened during a transit with Neptune. That was meant to open your third eye and tap you into your mastery of like self-transformation and personal and spiritual growth in some way. But that you had to separate from others to like really go within. Or, you know, sometimes God separates us from people intentionally, like, so it's like a protection. So that may be what we're talking about here. They were simply a diversion. Okay. But the reason or the intention was so that you would have spiritual growth and personal, like, growth and expansion. Like I was talking about the Jupiter energy, it's all about that teaching, that higher learning, Pisces and Jupiter, 12th house things, those hidden things. Oh yeah, so, those hidden things, right? The moon. Those 12 house things was to teach you a lesson. Something about self-mastery and self-love, I think, is it was a slow, long journey back to self in some way. How are we showing up? Oh, okay. So this is past, present, and future energy. So maybe you felt like you were drowning in some sort of darkness, some sort of moon energy, deception, things hidden. Also Sedna energy, like betrayals, either family, you know, all of that. Present energy is like this slow, methodical laying, like I'm seeing the lay of the land. That's what I just heard, the lay of the land. Like maybe you're getting acclimated to the lay of the land of like the spirituality, the third eye chakra, like the duality of things, the separation of being separate but also a part of in some way. Like the spirituality of it, you know what I mean? And then, future energy is like mastery, self-mastery. Like you're working towards the mastery of it. Like the King of Pentacles, the Queen of Pentacles, after the... God, I hope this is making sense. The way I talk is fucking choppy as shit. Like sometimes I have weird pauses. It's the ADHD in me. Anyway, let's see. My nose keeps running. At least I'm not coughing like I was, though. So in this current energy, it's like take your time with things. Like things don't have to be rushed. Like the flow of life, right? Clarify the moon. King of Cups and the King of Swords. So something was meant to tap you into your mastery of like the mind and emotion so that you could go into the depths of like who you are. That was like the whole purpose. Like you were meant to kind of be separate from everyone, go deep into this like transition, like Sedna. Ten of Wands, Seven of Cups, Seven of Wands. So I'm getting that this was you overburdening yourself with delusion in some way. So God was like, okay, I'm going to separate you from everyone. And like, this is going to be for your protection. Because like, if God didn't separate you, I feel like there could have been some sort of, I don't know. Like it was for a purpose, okay? And like, maybe you felt like you could have been dealing with a lot. Like, I feel like maybe you were feeling like you were drowning. You know, like drowning in like all this illusion and burden. And I think it was meant for your enlightenment in some way. Also, so that you could learn to control the wave of emotions. There was like something that had to become clear to you in some way. Clarify the Knight of Pentacles. So, and I always talk about the arc, right? Like you had to build this arc, like in the midst of all this shit, a shit storm, right? You had to like build your arc and kind of create like a future for yourself. And maybe that was like an outlet for you. Okay. 10 Wands is clarifying the Knight of Pentacles. So you may still feel heavily burdened by the lesson of it all, but that's creating like this mentor energy, like I don't know, so yeah, it's 2 of Swords, High Priestess, Empress. Yeah. So you may be meant to be this mentor person, like a shaman. That's what I'm seeing this as. So this is current energy, like High Priestess, Hierophant, Empress. Because you had to go within. You went within yourself. You're like, this is not mine. This is not mine. And now you're kind of leaving it all behind. In some way. I don't know. 6 of Pentacles. See, he's like free, letting the feet touch the ground, the grass. You know, got his little horse, like, shielding himself. Like the only thing that's on his back here is like this pentacle, this golden pentacle. Like you had to unmask yourself. You could be autistic. You had to like realize that you were this Empress, and that manifesting it was a part of who you are. Okay. 4 of Cups, clarifying the 8 of Pentacles, and the Wheel of Fortune is at the bottom. So I'm seeing this as like a need to see all the work that you've done has created like this boon energy. Like this is a message of like needing to see like how far you come, self-mastery, right? Or working towards that. Like all the work that you've done to become like, you know, this unicorn. Yeah, vulture behind that. Nothing is wasted. The spiritual work that you've gone through, and even though the separations, right, happen, I also seen the sap of the moon plant, which let me read that too. But we got the Wheel of Fortune, the 7 of Cups, and the 7 of Wands, and the Magician. It created like this boon energy. I'm telling you, like the illusion is you not seeing how protected you are, and like the fact that you can manifest, you know, anything that you want because of who you are and how you are. That was protected from like other people trying to take from you. That's intuitively what I'm getting here. 7. So right before the sap of the moon plant is the virgin's milk, which is about innocence, naivety, purity. So because of your purity, you are saved and separated from this escapism, this like it's like illusions, like it's where we get taken under by like the worldly things, right? It's more about the spiritual things. So it says nocturnal sacred water of the unconscious, the divine feminine. It says to ponder the divine feminine. The sap of the moon plant is ancient substance said to be born of water, plant, and moonlight. This elixir develops in the depths of night and is thus a metaphor for the wellspring of the unconscious. When this alchemical magic is afoot, it's all about dreams. You may have had some dreams about people, places, things, like prophetic dreams. The answer you are seeking will not come from the intellect nor the opinion of others. It will surface from the depths as if rising from the ancient waters of your memory. The work is to rest, restore, and awaken your celestial senses. Do this by pausing, by releasing your grip. The sap of the moon plant signifies you are in deep territory of destiny and the imagination. This is a mythic moment. The dream is waiting to show itself, but awaits your sincere invitation. Ask and rest. All will be revealed. Track your dreams for the next 3 nights. Chemical magic. This was meant for your expansion in some way. Like, I'm seeing this as like you were called for a spiritual purpose. You have some mystical insights that like became awakened at maybe a transit during Neptune. A Neptune transit at some point. Dreams are the mother tongue of humanity. It's said that this sap of the moon plant is linked to the pineal gland and can be increased by the practice of meditation. Sit for a few moments in the evening. Sitting for a few moments in the evening is especially beneficial. Let me go back to Neptune. So you may have been seeking in some way, like deeper truths in some way. I don't know. You're being called to a pilgrimage or new spiritual practice. Divinity has arrived, whether you call it any of the names, enlightenment or serenity or whatever. This is some sort of spiritual awakening that happened, and it separated you from other people, but it was for a purpose. You may have been confused about it. I don't know. This could be happening now. It's for your own protection. So if you're being separated from people, places, things, don't fight it. Just be alone. That's kind of the message. You're not going to like it, maybe. It might suck. But I'm getting that it's nothing's wasted, that there's some sort of insight that you are supposed to be given, or you're meant to be given, so that you can, I don't know, maybe deliver the messages to the collective in some way, or people you meet. Shit. Ten of Swords. That Ten of Swords is about learning from, the wisdom and stuff. The Star. Hi, Ringo. I know I'm so silly dropping cards everywhere. The Empress. Yeah, okay. So there's some sort of manifesting creativity. It's not just manifesting, but I did see the Magician. It's about finding your own peace and value. Not only that, healing the heart chakra and coming into your in balance with yourself. The Emperor. We got Empress, Four of Swords, King of Pentacles, the Emperor, and the Ten of Swords. So that's what I'm seeing. I hope this helps.